Hey, everybody.
Hey guys, welcome to Jack's Treasures. This is our ongoing series of videos. I'm sorry, I don't know why I think that's funny. It's because I can see myself and I look like an idiot. Okay. This is our ongoing series.
Wearing a Temu brand Captain's t-shirt that we bought at a yard sale this past weekend.
Did. All right, guys. Today is Monday, and we stop it.
Look how thin it is. You can like see through it.
Stop. Okay, guys. This is our ongoing series of questions and answers or storage unit tips. Today is Monday. So we're doing our storage unit tips, and this week we are heading to Nashville for the Nashville meetup. Now we're doing batch recordings, so some of these are going to be recorded before the Nashville meetup because we're going to be.
We should buy a storage unit when we're in Nashville.
I don't think so.
I think that would be fun.
I do not believe so at all. But, you're crazy. Storage unit tips for today. Is exactly what she just said.
Yes.
Location, location, location. Guys, location is important when it comes to buying a storage unit. Know your facility and know your area. Okay? Now, we have bought in storage units in Nashville without knowing those areas, but we knew what was in the storage unit, and that sort of helped us out a little bit. I will say one thing. I was a little bit worried about that storage unit because you could see where the homeless people were coming through the fence right there. And it was like right by where the door is. And it was really late at night when we were unloading that unit.
Well, let me preface all of this when I talk about location by telling people that we are based in the suburban Atlanta area. And as such, we purchase units regularly in downtown areas, suburban areas, and rural areas. Because all of that is within 30 minutes of our house. So I feel like we are we have a good experience talking about this because of the drastic differences in areas that we have purchased from.
Everybody lives or knows, it's if you're living near in a city or a larger city or a larger area, you know there are areas that you do not want to be around in, especially around late at night. Okay? I'm not trying to say anything about any city whatsoever. I'm just saying it's there. Okay, people don't do a lot of talking about that. We have been to storage facilities at live auctions where there were guards.
Yes.
Okay, that were at the beginning of the facility. They were at the front of the facility when you would go in and you do the bidding and then you would go out. We've been to storage facilities where we went into the facility and, the next thing I know, the cops are on the way because the person who had that facility lived right around there and, was upset and wanted his stuff. And
we have purchased from a facility directly next to an apartment complex where we got high from the person smoking marijuana out on their balcony while we were unloading the storage unit. That was fun.
Fun. Yeah, it was expensive because I think we hit every single Taco Bell from that facility on the way home. But so know the area, but that's not really the focus of ours of being in those bad areas.
Be cautious if just you always are be doing that. Don't go alone.
For us, it's know the facilities areas where you have a higher social economic living. Okay, for us, it's areas like Dunwoody. Okay, Roswell, Sandy Springs, Alpharetta, Johns Creek. Okay, those are more expensive areas in the Atlanta northern area of Atlanta, and those are areas that we would pay up for those units because again they're only about 30 minutes away, and when you see units like that, you tend to think, oh, they might have better stuff.
And sometimes they do. Sometimes they don't.
Right. These, by the way, these are all just our saying. I didn't say that in the other ones too. These are just our tips, and these are our opinions. So, if you have a differing opinion or you have a differing experience, let us know in the chat. And if your name is Roman, from Roman's Adventures, we'll put a link down there to him. So you need to go check him out.
He's awesome.
He is amazingly awesome. But he's poking the Mr. Jack bear, okay? Mr. Jack is
angry.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. But no, we actually love Roman.
What I was going to say is that different areas tend to bring different things. For me, maybe I'm looking right now, I want to find some cool clothing to bring to Whatnot. I want to bring like some higher quality purses, maybe some streetwear, urban wear, Jordan shoes, things. I'm probably going to go into Atlanta for that because all the big stores are there. I mean, the people who are there are more likely to purchase those items. Whereas I'm not going to go out into the rural farm areas. If I'm looking for like tools, I'm looking for hunting gear, I'm looking for stuff like that, I'm going to tend to go further out.
You're looking for hunting gear?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm a little bit worried right now.
We've done well with knives on Whatnot. So.
We have. So knowing the area is very, very important by there. Okay, this can raise prices. Okay, generally speaking, a small unit in a large, richer area, if you will, tends to bring a lot more money than that same unit is if it was in Dallas where we live or Villa Rica or something like that.
Right.
So be prepared for those. Also know the facilities that you are buying from. That is probably one of the biggest tips that I'll tell you about location. Okay, because different facilities offer different programs. Like there's some facilities you pay 1 month, you get 3 months for free. Okay. And those can be horrible
for a buyer.
For a buyer. We're going to go into something about that in another video. But suffice it to say, the cheaper that the unit is, the cheaper the stuff you put into the unit. Now, if you're paying $500 or $600 a month in a storage unit, you're going to want to store stuff that's hopefully worth $500 or $600 in that unit. If it's a big one that's got like codes and gates and a lot of protection, great lawn care, and all this other kind of stuff, you're paying for that as a renter from that unit. You're going to put better stuff in that unit.
Usually.
Yeah, usually.
All of these you can find anything anywhere, and that's actually something I wanted to mention. One of our more interesting units we purchased from the family of I would call him a B-list actor that you've probably heard his name before. But we purchased his unit. We purchased it from a rural, tiny facility out in the middle of nowhere where...
Blue Ridge.
Yeah.
Blue Ridge, Georgia.
And it was not a commercial facility. It was a little dumpy, a home-owned facility.
The only reason why Tracy bought it is because she could see the antiques in the unit, and we had them all.
Yeah.
So we had an antique store.
Yeah.
So that one was one of the ones that was right there. But I got attacked.
You did.
By a walrus.
It's a seal.
It's a seal. Well, the seals don't like the Navy people, I guess. But whatever. Okay. But yeah, knowing the facility is very, very important. And we are going to go into why some facilities that say first month's rent is free suck. Okay, and we're going to go into that in another one. Another
thing to think about is the ease of getting in and out of the facility. We've purchased units in like downtown Atlanta. I mean, where we're like right there next to the big tall buildings, and in fact, the facility was in a big tall building.
Used to be a motel, I think, or a hotel or something.
And getting in and out of that parking lot was murder.
With a truck.
And in the more urban areas, you're more likely to have a facility that's going to be tall. You're going to be going up and down more elevators. So that's
you get in a rural areas, you'll get your truck stuck.
Yep. I got unstuck. It's the first time I've ever used 4-wheel drive. It was awesome.
Yeah. But you want to know the facility, the ease of getting in and out of the facility. What is the facility near? Mm-hmm. Is it near a military base? Apartment complexes. Apartment complexes are great because, well, one, you can get high. No, I'm just kidding.
One time we did.
We did. We really did. That was, that was in Smyrna. But if apartment complexes, they tend to, if you have a big apartment complex area, you're going to have a bunch of storage facilities in that area because apartment complexes are only so small, so big, whatever. But people, especially when they get married, first time they get married, they bring in together two things, or couples bring in together two things, and it's usually the guy stuff that gets put in the storage unit.
That was from Storage Wars Northern Treasures. They called them Joe units, and I have really embraced that. And that's actually something I look for when I'm looking for storage units. I love a Joe unit.
Another one is colleges. Being around a college
yeah.
town, you're going to get a lot of stuff that has to do with electronics, books, calculators, scientific calculators, those TI 80 whatevers and stuff like that. Furniture, you'll get stuff like that in those areas. So be aware of what's around that storage facility. Is it in an industrial park? Then you're going to be looking at tools or industrial stuff and things like that. Entertainment. Is this around Disney World? Is it around Six Flags? That's what we have here in Georgia, Six Flags over Atlanta, or Six Flags over Georgia. I forget.
Yeah.
But if you're down in Orlando, those storage units are going to probably have some stuff that have to do with Disney World or Universal. If you're in Vegas, you can have, I know that they found poker chips one time on Storage Wars.
Another thing to think about is the area directly around the storage facility. Is there a lot of woods, a lot of grass, things like that? That is going to be an area more likely to have rats.
Yeah, we know that one too. We know that one too. How new is the facility is a big one, because at that point you could basically tell how long the stuff's been in the storage unit. The building's been open for 6 months and they already are starting to have stuff in there. You know that stuff that's in there is less than 6 months old. No way it couldn't be, okay, because it's new to the storage facility. And yes, it does happen.
Oh, yeah.
We've have a couple of them that just opened up.
I was going to say, when that U-Haul opened just up the road from us, I would say it was less than 6 months before they started having auctions.
I think that's 3 months for the one that was Paulding Storage, remember? And we bought one of theirs. And it was a good unit because we knew that the stuff that was in the unit was not in the unit all of that long.
It was going to be clean.
Yeah. So location is a big thing to think about. There's so much stuff that goes into buying storage units and with the location, because we're going to be doing another video specifically on this one, which is it a big facility, i.e., is it nationwide?
Like
public
U-Haul, storage and U-Haul.
Public storage, extra space. Or is it a small one? Big Lenny's. And he has 3 of them.
Shout out to Big Lenny. I like Big Lenny.
Shout out to Big Lenny.
His name is actually Dave,
is not
I think.
Lenny at all. Okay. And he owns a facility. I know, I met him.
Yeah.
Okay. But is it a smaller facility? And we're going to talk about the differences between the two of those in another video. So yeah, you get to enjoy more of Jack's Treasures.
Like, share, subscribe, check out Stop Soldier Suicide. There will be a link down below. Pet a cat.
And also check out Roman's Adventures.
Yes.
Roman, we love you. You are an amazing one, and I can't wait to meet you in less than a week.
It's going to be like 4 days when this comes out.
That's right. So peace out from Jack's Treasures. Bye.